This is an introduction to the torque vector. Torque is defined to be a vector that is obtained by taking vector r and vector f and cross-producting them. Vector r is considered to be a position vector, or the length of the radial arm where the force is being applied, and vector f is the applied force. So a vector r might look like some arm that is anchored at a point, and we're going to apply a force onto the tip of this vector and cause it to rotate. So think about this as being essentially like a wrench. The applied force would be applied to the tip of the wrench, and let's say it's coming down in this direction here. So we would have an applied force vector and a position vector, and the torque vector is going to be the cross product of these two. Now, to determine the direction that cross product would be headed, we've got essentially vector r and vector f that are determining this two-dimensional plane, and the cross product is going to be perpendicular to both of these. But the direction of that cross product is going to be determined if I were to slide my force vector over so that they have a shared initial point, and then I'm going to use the right-hand rule to see which direction that cross product or that torque vector would be headed. So remember, we're going to take the heel of our right hand and put it along the second vector. So the heel of our right hand is going here. The knuckles of our right hand are going to be on top of the shared initial point, and then the fingers of our right hand are going to wrap around in this particular way. Well, that means that my torque vector is actually going to be going into the page here in this particular case. So the torque vector is going into the page here. It is perpendicular to both my r vector and my force vector, right? It's perpendicular to both of these. Let's label this vector T. The direction of the torque vector is going to indicate the axis of rotation. So if we were to apply the force onto the tip of vector r in this way, we would see that the torque vector is going to, we're going to get a twist into the page, right? The torque is going into the page here in this particular scenario. And the magnitude of the torque vector, I should have had magnitude in here, measures the tendency to rotate about that particular axis, right? So the magnitude is representing the tendency to rotate. Now, one thing that we need to discuss are units. Let's take a look at the scenario if we had 1 meter long radial arm and a force of 1 Newton being applied to the tip of that radial arm. What then would be the units of our torque vector? So let's also consider the angle theta. The angle theta is measured between vector f and vector r, but that is only when they have a shared initial point. So I'm not going to be measuring my angle when f is out here. I'm going to be measuring the angle in between those two vectors when they have a shared initial point. So this is my angle theta here in this particular case. So the magnitude of this torque vector is going to be given by the magnitude of the cross product of f and r. And as we've seen in a previous video, this can also be measured by mag r times mag f times the angle in between. Now, in this particular scenario, what we have as our angle in between the two vectors is that we've got them arranged such that they are perpendicular to each other. So this would be mag r mag f times the sine of 90 degrees. Well, the sine of 90 degrees is 1. The magnitude of r is equal to 1 meter. The magnitude of f is equal to 1 Newton. And we can see that the measure of our torque is then going to be in Newton meters. So this is going to be 1 Newton meter, and hopefully we all remember that a Newton meter is the same thing as a joule. So in particular, we can see that the torque is measured in joules, but more generally, we can say the units of torque will match the same kind of units that we use to measure work. What we also want to notice here is that when the radial arm vector or the position vector and the force vector are perpendicular to each other, then the torque is going to be determined by essentially taking the magnitude of the radial arm and multiplying that by the magnitude of the force vector. We ended up with the magnitude of the radial arm multiplied by the magnitude of that force vector. Now, this brings rise to the question, well, what if they are not perpendicular to each other? Now, here we have a scenario where the applied force is not perpendicular to the radial arm. To determine the angle in between the two vectors, we'll need to slide our force vector over so that they actually do share the same initial point. Once they have the same initial point, then we can say the angle in between the two vectors would be this angle theta. What we're being asked to consider is the situation where theta is not equal to 90 degrees when these two vectors are not perpendicular to each other. What we'll see here is that the component of the forced vector that actually contributes to the rotation is the one that is perpendicular to the radial arm. So let's see if we can make sense of that. If we were to decompose my force vector into the sum of two vectors, one of which is parallel to the radial arm and the other is perpendicular to the radial arm, we could call one of these vectors vector 1 and the other one vector 2. And what we'll notice here is that if we were to add vector 1 to vector 2, we end up with the force vector, right? So we have decomposed our force vector into these two vectors that are perpendicular to each other. The component of F that contributes to the rotation is actually going to be just V1. The component of F that is perpendicular to the radial arm. This is the one that we are going to isolate. This is the one that contributes to the rotation. Only the one that is perpendicular to the radial arm. Let's call the net force the magnitude of this V1 vector, the one that is actually contributing to the rotation. Now, similar to what we said a moment ago, is that the magnitude of the torque vector is going to be calculated by looking at the magnitude of the force perpendicular to the radial arm and then multiply that by the magnitude of the radial arm itself. So essentially, in this particular situation, what we have is that's going to look like the magnitude of my V1 vector multiplied by the magnitude of my R vector, or the position vector. Now let's come back up to our drawing here, and we'll see that we could also slide our V1 vector over here and decompose my force vector from this perspective. And if we do that, we can see that the angle in between these two vectors, theta, is also going to be right here, right? From alternate interior angles, these two angles are the same. And if we look at this angle theta here, we notice that the sine of our angle theta would be the magnitude of this V1 vector divided by the magnitude of the force vector opposite over hypotenuse. So we said the sine of angle theta is equal to mag V1 over magnitude force vector. And from here, we can solve for mag V1 simply by multiplying both sides by the magnitude of the force vector, and then we'll get that mag V1 is equal to mag force times the sine of angle theta. Now let's use this as a substitution in for our mag V1 in our torque vector formula. So the magnitude of the torque vector is going to be magnitude force times the sine of the angle in between the two vectors, again measured when they have the same initial point, And then all of that is going to be then multiplied by the magnitude of the radial arm, or the position vector. Since these are all scalar quantities, I can rearrange their order to get mag r times mag f times the sine of the angle in between. And hopefully by now this formula is starting to look familiar to you, because this can also be calculated by just looking at the magnitude of the cross product of r and f. And either one of these can be used to determine the magnitude of the torque vector, depending on the scenario that has been given, or the way that the scenario is provided. You may choose to use one or the other when calculating the torque.